This week on LongShotTV,
probably had about 50 yards to blood and start getting scares.
You can't shoot a 170 if you shoot a 130.
There's a buck, there's a buck, there's a buck. He's definitely over 150. Heavy rat.
All of a sudden I seen a big set of antlers coming out the grass. Didn't even see the deer, just seen the horns coming out the grass. I said, oh man, this is a big deer.
Welcome to LongShotTV. This week the crew is spread out from the Carolinas to the Midwest, hoping for some great whitetail action. I started off my whitetail hunting season in North Carolina this year, and I've got my cameras out and I bounce around, you know, just depending on what my cameras are producing. But I end up on this one pinch point that I hunt a lot, and start getting a lot of pictures in there. Year after year, there's a good scrape here, and they're working the branches up above this scrape, and I'm getting solid pictures every week, every couple of days actually, of some good bucks in this one spot.
I'm set up on a nice little bench between a couple of fields. Even though I've been hunting this land all year long and scouting around, I just found this bench and got a camera set up here. Right, many nice pictures. Got all sorts of games. It's a heavy game trail through here. Got a bunch of does, small bucks, but there's one nice 8-point buck that is coming through here.
And I hunt this stand numerous days and get a lot of action through there. But this one particular day, it was about 11 o'clock in the morning, and I've had about all I can take. That I'm tired of sitting and just watching deer. I hear some cracking in the leaves and some branches break. So I'm ready, and lo and behold, a good nice doe pops out. And you know, I'm hunting bucks, but you know, like I said, you can only take so much. So I go ahead and decide that I'm gonna draw back on this doe. She gives me every opportunity to make this happen, and lo and behold, you know, she makes that broadside turn, and I'm able just to let the camera go and let it do its thing and get a draw back on it. And I release the arrow, and it ends up hitting pretty high. She's pretty close in to me, probably 13, 14 yards, and I didn't account for that being 15 feet up in the air. And so I hit her high, and she takes off right where she came from.
Alright, I'm still trailing some pretty good blood here. We'll keep dragging this blood till we run across her. Probably had about 50 yards to blood. Started getting scares. I picked up some more blood. Was able to track her on in.
My brother and my dad meet up with me, and we get this doe drug out and get her all cleaned up. They're gonna help me load her up, and then we're gonna go get some breakfast at the grill at Delway. And trying to be real easy in here. That way I can slip back in here this afternoon, and maybe I hadn't disrupted it that much. And I'm excited about having some good meat, and finally get a deer on the ground with my new helium.
This segment of Long Shot TV was brought to you in part by Judd Kuhn Chevrolet.
Don't just want a truck, you want a Judd Kuhn custom lift truck. In stock now at Judd Kuhn Chevrolet in Little River. 6-inch lifts, chrome wheels, real tree camo fender flares. And you can check them out at Judd Kuhn Chevrolet. Judd Kuhn's Build-A-Truck is the first choice for hunters, outdoor enthusiasts, and folks that just won't settle for second best. Come in to Judd Kuhn Chevrolet in Little River or call 877-977-8782 to schedule a test drive. Buildatruck.net.
One of the downsides of owning your own business here in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, is the odds are stacked against me. I know. It's only a matter of time before a disaster strikes again. That's the reason why I trust Tillman Insurance Agency.
Tillman Insurance is located at 905 2nd Avenue North here in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Check out the number below for any of your auto, home, business, life insurance needs.
Well, it's mid-October. I'm getting ready to pick my father up, Jack, in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we're heading on to Illinois for another great fall hunt. Yeah, I think we had about 4 does that come in. She fed in. Probably took about 15 minutes to get underneath me. Now I'm filming this doe by myself, so she comes in, she comes out of the frame. I have to get her back in the frame. Finally, she moves her leg a little forward. I don't know if I shot her a little bit low, but it was actually 3 nice deer in here, a small buck, and a doe and a yearling. Big doe that actually needed to be taken. We're here in west central Illinois. Well, after the shot, as you can tell, I thought I hit her a little bit low, but I filmed her running on and off. Picked up my father. He said he had shot as well too, and he had watched his big doe fall. Well, good morning here. We've shot a couple big monster does. We've already tagged them here in Illinois. So after killing a couple does, I've become a little bit more serious on trying to kill a big buck. I had a lot of nice deer. Actually, I had a big 9-point and an 8-point in the same setting within about 5 minutes. Actually crossed right underneath me, and they were. I think one was about a 130 and the other one's about a 140. They crossed right underneath me and just weren't quite big enough. I'm still looking for the big monster buck to put on the ground. In order to shoot a monster buck, every once in a while you got to let a buck like this right here go. We knew we had a couple more weeks of hunting, so you can't shoot a 170 if you shoot a 130.
On this evening, I saw a big buck called Romeo. 2.5-year-old deer, great genetics, good looking deer. Once again, I'm in a tree, I film him, he comes straight up to me, and I pass on him because he's only a 2.5-year-old. It was about 2 weeks into the hunt, and my dad said, let's go back to the alfalfa field where we kill those two big does. About an hour before shooting light is over, I look up, I see the largest buck I've ever seen in my life. A minimum of probably 10 years old, a great management deer to take out. He didn't come within about 70 yards from me, feeding in the alfalfa. It would have been a great buck to take out, but as you can see in the camera, he didn't come in close enough.
Had a great time. Just hadn't been able to put it together. Really haven't seen any of the big monster shooters. We've shot 6 does and 1 coyote, and so we've had a great time here. So hope you guys have enjoyed the quick burst of some footage that we've put together for you.
This segment of Long Shot TV was brought to you in part by Atlantic Heating and Cooling.
Bank is now offering our customers a new reason to smile. It's our totally free checking. And when we say free, we mean free. Totally free checking means free online banking, free online bill pay, free MasterCard debit card, free first order of checks. You'll even receive a free gift when you open an account. To sign up for totally free checking, visit any of our Crestcom Bank locations throughout Myrtle Beach and Charleston. Crestcom Bank, have a nice bank.
Before experiencing it, you won't know dependability. Unless you've drawn it, you haven't felt smooth. Until you shoot it, you've yet to be this accurate. The Matthews Creed.
Some of the best fishing is found right here off the coast of the Carolinas. Voyager deep sea fishing and dolphin cruises are located conveniently here in North Myrtle Beach. Voyager fishing fleet has 4 different vessels ranging from 44 to 100 feet and offer many different trips to fit any budget. Find us on the web at supervoyagerdeepseafishing.com or call us direct at 843-626-4900. Call and book your trip today. After killing my doe and hunting a few more weeks in North Carolina, I get a call from Wade. He's got a spot open up there at Tall Tine and invites me up, and he says he's got a bunch of nice deer located. You know, they've got them on camera and they're seeing them right regular. First day we hunt on this ridge. There's a creek bottom down through there, and we're on a ridge, and then there's a ridge on the other side of the creek, and the deer absolutely funnel right through there. That first morning, had a probably, I don't know, maybe a 130 buck come 20 yards from the stand, and we didn't catch him on the other ridge, but once he got in that creek bottom and started working up towards us, we got the camera on him, got our eyes on him, and you know, he's just cruising through there nice and easy, and as he passes by, you know, I know this being the first day, I'm not going to draw back on this deer, but I grunt at him a little bit, just to see if we can turn him around and see if we can get him to come up under us. But he turns around and looks at us and keeps cruising on by and makes it out into the CRP field.
It's around lunchtime, about 12 o'clock. We've seen one 8-point come down this ridge, across the creek, and up this other side earlier this morning. Not seeing anything else.
We decided about lunchtime we were going to change spots, and after not seeing anything else that morning, then Bucky's out over there and get set up for our evening hunt.
We had planned to go out to the back of this CRP field. This is probably about 500 yards away. Wade said there's been a couple of shooter bucks seen there the last couple of evenings. So we're gonna go ahead and back everything up, head over, get another stand set.
Late that afternoon, we start seeing some does work out in the field, and actually see this one 8-point, 100 or so yards off, cut across the field. We get some more does on the hill, probably 250 yards off, and it's getting to be, later, hour or so before sunset, and as we're watching those does, they keep looking back towards the woods, and just a few minutes passed, and this one really nice buck steps out.
There's a buck, there's a buck, there's a buck. Hey, this is a shooter, this is a shooter, this is a shooter. Over there on the hill.
So he actually cruises around them does, messes with them a little bit, goes back in the woods, and 10 or so minutes later he comes back out and works across the whole field, right across the middle of the field in this little bottom. And all we can do is just sit there and wait the whole time. I grunted at him a time or two, but he was just too far off, wasn't interested in us.
They worked their way fed across the field. Pretty much stayed at a distance about 200 yards the whole time. There were 4 doe with them, and we got a real good look at him. He's definitely over 150, heavy rack.
Right before dark, we still have good camera light off to our right. There's this one little asphalt road that runs down the side of the field. Another big buck pops out, and he's just working around. We pretty much all we're doing is catching little glimpses of him. He's not acting like he's coming into the field. We do get our eyes on him a couple of times, and he is really wide. Got some really heavy beams. So this is the first day, two shooter bucks. We're tickled to death.
This segment of LongShotTV was brought to you in part by The Shack.
You don't just want a truck, you want a Judd Kuhn custom lift truck. In stock now at Judd Kuhn Chevrolet in Little River. 6-inch lifts, chrome wheels, real tree camo fender flares. And you can check them out at Judd Kuhn Chevrolet. Judd Kuhn's Build-A-Truck is the first choice for hunters, outdoor enthusiasts, and folks that just won't settle for second best. Come in to Judd Kuhn Chevrolet in Little River or call 877-977-8782 to schedule a test drive. Buildatruck.net.
Dedication to innovation. One bow. The most accurate technology. one cam. When the reward is within range. One moment. A name you can rely on. One choice. Matthews.
It's so hot, our AC went down. But who to call in this beach town? That cool mascot, but what's the name? What would the penguins say? Atlantic heating and cooling, Atlantic heating and cooling. That's what the penguin says!
Call now for amazing Carrier lease purchase financing. No credit check needed. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Atlantic Heating and Cooling. Be cool, y'all.
The next day we set up in the ground blind just off of that draw in the woods. There's some thick bedding areas around there, and there's kind of this grown-up CRP field. We actually had this one really cool buck that comes out and feeds right in front of us, no more than 15 yards. Main frame 8, and then he's got one brow tine that's got just 3 little points on it. Really cool buck. Get a lot of good footage of him. Definitely not a shooter, so we just video him a while. We hunted this ground blind in the mornings, but in the evenings the deer really seem to be hitting this field pretty hard. This one draw where it runs out to the side of the field, where these deer are really feeding across. You know, I know my time is ticking down here in Ohio. I've started the week out real strong. You know, see some nice bucks and out in this field, and the evening hunts have definitely been a lot better. You know, I hate moving a lot, but you know, I'm just pretty much following what I'm seeing, and these deer are flowing right through this drainage area. We get a lot of deer movement coming across and get some right up underneath us, but big brow doesn't show up. You know, it's been an awesome time here in Ohio, but it's back in Wade's hands now. Let's see if you know, him or one of the other guys can get a shot at big brow, because he's out there and he's a nice one. He'd be a nice one to take.
So Adam just left camp here in Ohio, and now I got this deer big brow in my hands. I've actually had a history with this deer for the past 3 years. This year, you could pattern him a little bit easier because we've seen him more and more on this one farm that Adam has been hunting. I was putting my time in on the stands and bouncing back and forth to on the field edges where I had Adam hunting. He had so much field there in that CRP field. The deer were really hard to interrupt to get on. They were just bouncing around everywhere. So I had to make a decision where I thought this deer was bedding coming out at. And I felt pretty good about it. Felt like I located where he was, you know, narrowed down to, you know, a couple different spots. So I carried me a ground blinder, got it set up, brushed in real good, trying to spend as little time in there as possible. Didn't want to disturb the woods too much there.
I just got settled back in a ground blind here this morning. It looks like it's a perfect morning for harsh weather. We got a heavy frost on the ground and no wind whatsoever, so it should be a really good morning. Let's hope we can get the big boy to come out that thicket and show himself.
So it's a really quiet morning, as it's starting to break day. You know, the woods comes alive. You can start hearing all the little birds chirping, and this seems like a great day. I could just feel something good was going to happen today here. I have a big old doe and a yearling come out, and they're just kind of feeding around in front of me for a little while. It seems like 15-20 minutes pass by, and the big old doe just starts looking to her left and just kind of like moving her head up and down like she was looking at something, kind of alert, you know. And it seemed like she just stands there in that position for a couple minutes. And all of a sudden, something just told me to look that way, and I kind of looked that way, didn't see nothing at first. And all of a sudden, I seen a big set of antlers coming out the grass. Didn't even see the deer, just seen the horns coming out the grass. I said, oh man, this is a big deer. soon as the antlers cleared tall grass, I immediately noticed that right brow tine, and it was a big brow for sure. I mean, you couldn't miss this deer. It had a 14-inch brow tine with a fork on top of it. I knew this was a deer. My heart goes to pounding. I make sure both cameras are on. I'm ready to go, man. I mean, can't believe it's actually happening right now. So as this deer's getting closer and closer, I mean, this deer's 250 pounds, the steam's just blowing out his nose. I mean, my heart feel like it's gonna come up my chest, so I grabbed the bow and draw back on him. Mer.
It's been fun chasing whitetails from the Carolinas to the Midwest. Now waves that full draw on Big Brow. I want to thank you for watching Longshot TV. We'll see you then.
This week the crew spread out from the Carolinas to the Midwest trying to capture.
I was actually operating the camera as she was coming in. What did I do? With Matthews in hand, we set to go into the trees. The highlight of my trip was seeing that old management buck. He didn't come in. Can't wait to get back next year to Illinois and look for another one.
Why buy your next vehicle at Judd Kuhn Chevrolet? The Judd Kuhn Advantage, of course. You get a lifetime powertrain warranty. Other dealers will protect your interior and exterior for 5 years. Other dealers, you get free key replacements, free car washes, free lifetime tire rotations, and free courtesy shuttle service. Other dealers, plus you'll get an extra $500 for your trade. Judd's best value guarantee and Bird Dog Club. Other dealers just don't add up.
Where does he work?
AMC Wireless.
AMC.